today. So we've rolled into the Fox Glacier area here in the South Island towards the end of day 2, and we've come to a little spot called Lake Matheson, and the reason we've come here is you can get mirror-like reflection of the lake here and get pretty epic views to the mountain ranges in the distance. We've arrived though and the clouds kind of shrouded in on the mountains, so that opportunity hasn't presented itself this afternoon, and the lake is a little bit choppy, so none of the mirror reflections either. But we're just going for a bit of a walk through the rainforest, and there's a track that runs around the edge of the lake. It's about an hour and a half walk, and treated as a bit of a recce. At this stage we're planning get up nice and early, come back to the lake, and I'll see if I can get a few shots from what's called the Jetty Lookout, and it's quite a famous spot, and a lot of photographers have shot an image from here in the past. It'll just be interesting to see if we get those mirror reflection conditions and there's no clouds over the mountains, but anyway, that's all in the future. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. So we're heading to Lake Matheson this morning. It's pre-dawn and conditions look pretty spectacular here for landscape photography. The lake's really still. There's no clouds over Mount Cook, so we're getting beautiful reflections off the surface of the lake, and I'll just go and set up the camera now and wait for the sunrise. So this is Lake Matheson, and this morning we've got absolutely stunning conditions here. The water is smooth as you like, and I'm getting beautiful mirror-like reflections of the mountains and the trees off in the distance. It's a pretty epic location and really quite peaceful here, and quite a privilege to shoot this. So my settings this morning are quite straightforward. I'm shooting an f-stop of f13. I'm getting about a 6 to 10 second exposure, and I have a graduated neutral density filter mounted to the front of the lens. Now it's just a waiting game, and hopefully I'm going to get some alpenglow as the sun rises off to the east on the peak of Mount Cook, and I'll continue to shoot and see what conditions I get coming up, but at the moment it is absolutely spectacular. All right, well, that was absolutely spectacular, that shoot this morning, and I'm very happy that I got up nice and early to get out here. I'm just making my way back to the van now. It's about a 30-minute hike in along this trail through the rainforest. It's quite beautiful around here. Once I get back to the van, we're going to start heading south again. Bit more of a travel day here on day 3, and we're hoping to make it down to a campsite called Cameron Flat. Cameron Flat's kind of off the west coast and starting to head east or southeast again on our way to Queenstown. So I recommend Lake Matheson in the Fox Glacier area for landscape photography, and when the conditions are just right, you can get some really beautiful reflections off the surface of the lake, and that's what we got here this morning. Once again, very happy that I came and shot here. It's kind of been on my bucket list, this shot, and this morning conditions really suited the photograph that I wanted to take. Anyway, so back on the road, and see you at Cameron Flat. G'day guys, so it's drawing to the end of day 3 of our New Zealand road trip, and we've stopped for the night at a little place called Cameron Flat. There's a beautiful campground here, and the campground overlooks the view behind me, which is part of the reason I wanted to stay. So I've come down before the light disappears for this evening to get in a couple of landscape shots. So the scene behind me has been sort of quite changeable in terms of light throughout the time we've been here. We've been here about half an hour to an hour, and I'm a bit worried now that it's kind of greyed in, and a lot of the really dynamic light that's been hitting that mountain in behind me has disappeared for the rest of the day. There's a little bit of wind around, but I'm keeping the exposures fairly short, so the wind shouldn't really affect what I'm shooting in terms of vibration or camera movement. I've got my 16 to 35mm lens on, no filters, because the light's fairly flat. There's not a lot of high contrast in the scene, and I'm shooting about an f13 aperture, and I'm actually exposure bracketing the scene, so I'm getting the deepest of the shadows and the highest of the highlights without blowing either of those away. Got the river that's running below me here. I've got that as a kind of leading line, and it forms a nice sort of S-bend up to the mountains that are in the background, and I'm hoping that there might be a little bit of a break in the clouds here and there, and I'll get some nice light on those mountains in the background. There's also sort of in the foreground of the image, there's some rapids that are in the river, but they're really not that dominant in the frame, just a nice little added detail. The water's a really nice blue aqua turquoise colour, and I'm hoping I might be able to pick up a bit of that in the final shot when I run it through post. Anyway, I'll keep shooting now as the light's changing in behind me, and then I might pack up the gear for this afternoon, head back to the van and have a nice hot meal. And tomorrow will be day 4. We'll continue south and then start heading east again, and hoping to end up at Wanaka and on the lake there. So shoot a bit of the lake around Wanaka. Might stay 1 or 2 nights there depending, and then we'll move on to Queenstown after that. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying all these videos from New Zealand, and thanks again for watching. Cheers. Next time on the New Zealand South Island series,